Hello students, in last lecture we have discussed the topic that is third order reaction. In that we have discussed the definition, examples, derivation of rate law, characteristics of third order reactions. In that we have seen the graphical representation, half-life period and unit of a rate constant. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss next topic, that is methods to determine order of chemical reactions. In the determination of order of chemical reaction, a role of each reactant is important. The order of each reactant is determined. Different methods are used to determine the order of reaction. For order determination, measurement of concentration of reactant or product at different time intervals is essential. Now, we will discuss some methods to determine the order of reaction. First one, integrated rate equation method. The concentration of reactant or products are obtained experimentally at different time intervals during the course of the reaction. By substituting the concentration data on trial basis in the various integrated rate equation of first, second and third order reactions, the value of rate constant K is calculated. The rate equation, which shows almost constant value of rate constant K for different time intervals, gives the correct order of the reaction. It is the first method to determine the order of chemical reaction. Second one, graphical method. In this method, by plotting one graph, both the order and rate constant of the reaction can be determined. The integrated rate law equation of first, second and third order are arranged in terms of equation of straight line, that is y is equal to mx plus c. First order equation is ln into bracket a minus x is equal to minus k1t plus ln a. For second order, 1 upon a minus x is equal to k2t plus 1 upon a for equal initial concentration. For unequal initial concentration, the equation becomes ln a minus x upon b minus x is equal to k2 into bracket a minus b bracket complete into t minus ln of b upon a. For third order reaction, 1 upon a minus x bracket square is equal to twice k3t plus 1 upon a square for equal initial concentration. Now, if ln of a minus x is plotted against time, a straight line is obtained having the slope minus k1 and intercept is ln a. This indicates that the reaction would be first order. Now, by plotting the graph of 1 upon a minus x Against time, a straight line is obtained having the slope is equal to k2 and intercept along y-axis is 1 upon a. This shows that the reaction would be second order with equal initial concentration. Similarly, if we plot the graph of ln of a minus x upon b minus x against time, a straight line is obtained having the slope is equal to k2 into bracket a minus b and intercept along y-axis is equal to minus ln of b upon a. This shows that the reaction would be second order with unequal initial concentration. Similarly, if we plot the graph of 1 upon a minus x bracket square against time, a straight line is obtained having the slope twice k3 and intercept along y-axis is 1 upon a square. This shows that the reaction would be third order with equal initial concentration. Third one, half-life method. It is also called as fractional change method. This method is used only when the rate law contains only one concentration term of reactant. In this method, the time required for a reaction in completing a half-life of the reaction is determined at two different initial concentration. First one, for first order reaction, T half is independent of initial concentration. That is, T half is directly proportional to 1 upon A. Second, for second order reaction, T half is inversely proportional to the square of the initial concentration of the reactants. That is, T half is directly proportional to 1 upon A square. In general, we can write for nth order reaction as T half is directly proportional to 1 upon A raised to n minus 1, where A is the initial concentration of the reactant and n is the order of reaction. For determining the order of a particular chemical reaction, the reaction is followed in two different sets of experiments by taking the two different initial concentrations A1 and A2 of the reactant. The corresponding half-life periods, that is T half 1 and T half 2, are obtained as T half 1 is directly proportional to 1 upon A1 raised to n minus 1. It is equation A. Similarly, T half 2 is directly proportional to 1 upon A2 raised to n minus 1. It is equation B. By dividing equation A by B, we get T half 1 upon T half 2 is equal to A2 upon A1 raised to n minus 1. Taking the logarithm of above equation, we get log of T half 1 upon T half 2 is equal to n minus 1 into log of A2 upon A1. By rearranging this equation, we get n is equal to 1 plus log of T half 1 minus T half 2 divided by log of A2 minus log of A1. It is equation C. The above equation C is used to calculate the order of reaction. Now, The fourth one, that is differential method. This method was suggested by Van 't Hoff in 1884. According to the rate law for nth order reaction, the rate of reaction varies as nth power of concentration of the reactant. Therefore, rate of reaction is equal to minus d into concentration of A upon dt is equal to K into concentration of A raised to n. It is equation number 1. The experiment is carried out at two different initial concentrations, say A1 and A2. Following equation 1, we get rate of reaction, that is R1 is equal to minus d into concentration of A1 upon dt is equal to K into concentration of A1 raised to n. It is equation number 2. Similarly, the rate of reaction, that is R2 is equal to minus d into concentration of A2 upon dt is equal to K into concentration of A2 raised to n. It is equation number 3, where R1 and R2 are the rates of reaction at two different concentrations. Taking the log of equation 2 and 3, that is equation 2 is R1 is equal to minus d into concentration of A1 upon dt is equal to K into concentration of A1 raised to n. And equation 3 is R2 is equal to minus d into concentration of A2 upon dt is equal to K into concentration of A2 raised to n. We get log of R1 is equal to log of minus d into concentration of A1 upon dt is equal to log K plus n log concentration of A1. It is equation 4. Similarly, log of R2 is equal to log of minus d into concentration of A2 upon dt is equal to log K plus n log concentration of A2. It is equation number 5. From equation 4 and 5, we get n is equal to log of minus d into concentration of A1 upon dt minus log of minus d into concentration of A2 upon dt divided by log of A1 minus log of A2. From equation 4, log of minus d into concentration of A1 upon dt is equal to log of R1. And from equation 5, log of minus d into concentration of A2 upon dt is equal to log of R2. By substituting this value in this equation, we get n is equal to log of R1 minus log of R2 divided by log of A1 minus log of A2, where minus d into concentration of A1 upon dt and minus d into concentration of A2 upon dt are the initial slopes which can be determined by plotting the concentration versus time of two different initial concentrations A1 and A2. The order of reaction can be obtained with the help of the above equation, that is n is equal to log of R1 minus log of R2 divided by log of A1 minus log of A2. With this brief discussion about methods to determine the order of reaction, we will stop here and see you in the next lecture. Thank you.